Life here must always face the harshest trials. Every day that passes is a relentless battle to survive. It seems as though only the strongest could hold on. But sometimes, it is the smallest creatures that do the extraordinary. And this is their story. The Sahara sand surface reaches over 60 degrees at midday. No creature dares venture out, except for tiny silver specks darting about on nimble legs. Those are silver ants, appearing only when the desert is at its most brutal. When every predator has retreated beneath the sand, they begin their brief race against time. Within just a few minutes, they sweep up every insect carcass on the surface, then vanish back into the earth. The desert surface is bare under the sun again, not a movement. But the Sahara is not dead. Beneath that scorched sand, countless eyes are still waiting for the temperature to drop before stepping out to hunt. Under a dune, inside a burrow far cooler than the surface, a creature waits for the heat to recede. At the burrow entrance, two pointed tips rise just above the sea of sand. The smallest fox in the world, the fennec carries the largest ears of any canine, catching the faintest sounds while helping the body shed heat. When the afternoon sun softens, it slowly opens its eyes. The ears turn slowly, listening for any movement, while the nose continuously tests the wind for news carried from far away. Finding the area around the burrow still quiet, it steps outside. The thick fur beneath its paws insulates the body from the residual heat still rising from the ground. The fox moves along the slope of a dune in the cooling afternoon light. Both ears keep shifting direction, filtering for faint sounds rising from beneath the sand. Suddenly, it stops. Both ears point to the same spot ahead, where a scorpion is digging through the shallow sand below. The fox lunges, drives its muzzle into the sand, and digs it up. Seconds later, the scorpion is flung out. One bite behind the tail neutralizes the stinger. Then the jaws crunch through the hard shell. But one tiny scorpion barely touches a hungry belly. It moves along the base of a dune, searching for the next meal as dusk settles in. 10 minutes later, a mole cricket and a beetle are pulled from the sand. The dunes that lay silent all through the midday heat are now quietly alive with signs of life. The fox pauses on a sand mound, drawing in the passing wind. Then it stiffens, carried on. The breeze is a scent both familiar and alarming. About 300 meters away, a gray shape is moving steadily along a dune ridge. It is a striped hyena, one of the Sahara's most well-known opportunistic scavengers. Not as fast as the spotted hyena, but carrying an exceptionally sensitive nose. And right now, that nose has just caught the scent of the small fox. Now it is a contest of two senses across the desert wind. One listening for footsteps, the other tracking by scent. And both know the other is closing in. Instead of fleeing, the fox chooses to hide right in front of its enemy. It presses its body as flat as it can, ears pinned back, its sand-colored coat quickly dissolving into the desert surface. The hyena follows the scent trail. The distance keeps narrowing, but ahead there is nothing but sand and more sand. The nose says the prey is right here. The eyes see nothing. The hyena is now just 50 meters away. Then a scorpion crawls past right against the fox's muzzle. The unexpected contact makes it flinch. Both ears lift off the sand surface. That alone is enough to break the camouflage. The hyena snaps its head around. What its nose had been tracking has just appeared right before its eyes. The footsteps immediately quicken. The fox springs upright and bolts down the slope of the dune, its small light body moving as though skimming across the surface. Behind it, the hyena gives chase. Heavier, each stride sinking deeper with every step. The pursuit stretches across one dune slope after another. The fox keeps changing direction. Its compact body makes each turn easy, while the hyena has to recover its momentum after every swerve. The gap gradually widens. The desert does not favor the larger or the stronger. It favors whoever is best adapted to the sand underfoot. But the hyena does not give up. Hunger makes it more stubborn than usual. A fox, however small, is a meal worth expending effort for on the sand. By the third minute, the fox's breathing is coming in rapid bursts. The small body is heating up, every breath carrying away a little more of its precious limited moisture. Worse, across the open sandfield, there is nowhere dense enough to hide. The fox has no choice but to keep running, while the hyena presses closer with every stride, each lunge just about to close on it. And the direction changes have slowed. The distance shrinks with every beat. For the first time, the hyena sees the prey within reach. Just as the pursuit is about to be decided, an enormous shadow suddenly sweeps across the sand, and a third hunter has entered the game. The newcomer is the pharaoh eagle owl, the largest owl in North Africa. A wingspan of more than 1 meter, soft-edged feathers cutting through the air without a sound. Those enormous amber eyes take in every movement below. To the owl, both fox and hyena are prey, and it has already locked on to the smaller target. The owl dives, talons driving straight toward the small back. But the fox's ears catch the faintest sound of displaced air. It dodges sideways just before the talons make contact. Missing the fox, those sharp talons seize the hyena driving just behind. The hyena shudders and cries out in pain. And in the chaos, the fox has already broken away. But the hyena is not shaken. Ignoring the owl above, it pours every remaining ounce of effort into one target, each frantic stride eating up the distance. This time, the fox cannot dodge in time. The jaws lunge forward and clamp into the hind body. The fox cries out, struggling desperately, but the grip only tightens. At that exact moment of life and death, a shadow crashes down from above again. The owl driving in to contest the catch. The hyena recoils in alarm, its jaws involuntarily loosening for an instant. The fox seizes that moment, tears itself free, and drives down the dune slope, rolling onto the sand. Reaching the base of the dune, it trembles into the shelter of a sand mound and goes completely still. Above, the hyena is still searching, but the pursuit has cost too much. After a few futile sniffs at the wind, it finally turns and leaves with nothing. The fox stays motionless, not daring to stir, until its ears can no longer pick up a single footfall. Only then does it slowly raise its head, eyes darting across the sand in every direction. The fox steps out of hiding, exhausted and parched. It stands on the sand, draws in the wind, senses quiet in every direction. The hyena has gone, but the sky has not. Because the pharaoh eagle owl does not give up as easily as the hyena. It has been perched on a rock outcrop nearby, amber eyes locked onto the fox's hiding spot, waiting for exactly this moment. Now there is no more hyena, no more chaotic pursuit to take advantage of. Only the solitary fox, and a hunter silently descending from behind. The fox's ears still catch the warning, but this time, the exhausted body has betrayed it. Before it can dodge, the talons have already locked down onto the small back. The owl beats its wings and rises, carrying its prey in its talons. The hyena trudges away with an empty belly, and the fox remains in the sand forever. When everything settles, the desert cools and the earth stirs quietly. From beneath the layers of sand, small creatures emerge one by one, resuming the familiar rhythm of life. In this place, there is no absolute victory. The hyena spent itself and came away with nothing. The fox escaped one threat only to fall to another. And the final share always belongs to the one that knows how to wait. Tomorrow morning, when the first ray of light touches the sand, another fox will push its ears above the burrow entrance. It too will dart out, hunt for food, and begin the same cycle of hunting in a new day. That is the largest desert on the planet, where life has never been something to take for granted. Here, surviving one more day is already a victory. Sand surface temperature has exceeded 60 degrees. Air bent, turning everything distant into mirages flowing blurred on the horizon. Yellow scorpion seeks shade, nestling into rock crevice to avoid sun. Outside, under high-temperature rocks begin cracking from thermal expansion. Heat presses down on Sonoran like invisible weight. Owl hides in tree trunk avoiding sun. Under thornbush, jackrabbit presses flat to ground, dilating blood vessels in ears to radiate heat. But beneath scorching sand layer, ground surface shifts slightly. Horned lizard emerges, dusting sand with transparent eyelids before stepping into heat level. All other species are avoiding. It possesses osteoderm armor layer, helping adapt to harsh heat. Red ants crawl across nose and head spikes, while its body not yet warm enough to react. Tongue flicks out extremely fast, rolling up each ant, then swallowing whole. On dessert, energy-conserving hunting strategy, more important than pursuit speed. Horned lizard walks, and at cholla bush edge, another movement appears. Small burrow entrance stirs. Two long whiskers poke out, sensing ground vibrations. Desert mouse stands motionless before burrow entrance, only ears continuously rotating, detecting sounds. After seconds of vigilance, it finally steps into dangerous open space. Long hind legs help it leap far and change direction instantly. It dashes between mesquite bushes, exposing itself on bare sand surface. It's searching for seeds, but never losing vigilance about surrounding environment. For desert rodents, danger typically comes from above. Above, two golden eagles glide on thermal currents, barely needing to flap wings. They've appeared since ground began absorbing heat. With vision 8 times human, plus talons creating grip force over 2,800 pounds per square inch. Golden eagle has locked tight on small brown dot between two bushes right when it left burrow. Eagle tilts wings, adjusting descent trajectory, calculating wind and prey's running direction. Wrong angle causes failure and wastes energy on desert. On ground, mouse detects round shadow advancing on sand, immediately flees, changing direction, lunging toward a rock maze instead of running straight to familiar burrow. Eagle talons stab into sand where mouse just stood. It watches prey. Mouse continues running, carrying first trace, opening hunting signal. Mouse rushes into maze of stacked granite rocks, making eagle unable to approach. Shade reduces heat significantly, but this terrain is also shelter for other predator species. Rock rattlesnake has necrotic venom. Thanks to heat pit, it detects mouse through very small temperature difference before seeing and begins rattling tail. Mouse freezes. Ahead is snake. Behind is eagle. But instead of panicking, it calculates escape chance when snake strikes and misses, needing about 3 seconds to coil back. Opportunity will open. Mouse creates vibration, stimulating snake to strike first. When strike lunges forward, it leaps sideways, then passes through narrow gap in very short time. Right then, eagle lunges into rock gap following mouse direction. Large movement brings it into defense reflex range of agitated snake. Snake launches second strike. Fangs only graze eagle's chest feathers, forcing predator to spring back out, yielding rock maze to true owner. Mouse escapes maze from west side. It breathes heavily, legs beginning to feel heavy. Ahead is bare sand plain, but behind is pursuing eagle. Two eagles coordinate above. One forces direction, the other waits ready at strike angle, creating pincer position, leading mouse right into attack trajectory. Cactus branch makes it slip slightly, but it still struggles to keep running, driven into talon range, diving down from about 30 meters height. Just as the talons were about to make contact, the mouse spotted the hollow skull. Its hind legs kicked off, and it changed direction, diving straight in and vanishing as the talons snapped shut over the top of the cranium. The skull creates a natural shelter. The narrow eye sockets prevent the eagle's beak from reaching deep inside, while the bone layer keeps the temperature significantly lower than the open sand. Eagle perches on skull, continuously pecking into open gaps, but mouse still lies deep inside skull cavity. Tug of war between desert's strongest and hollow skull begins. 5 minutes. Sun scorches sand surface, but skull remains cool thanks to heat reflection and light convection. Meanwhile, eagle must continuously shift feet to force mouse to run out. After 10 minutes, one perched on cactus begins losing patience, scanning for other targets, while the other pecks one last time, but still powerless before skull. Finally, eagles fly away in turn, abandoning energy-draining hunt, leaving skull in desert midst with mouse still alive inside. Mouse pokes whiskers from eye socket checking vibrations and shadows on sand, then crawls out, dusts sand from fur, and runs to nearest burrow. Escape ends. By reflexes faster than eagle talons, body twist making snake miss strike, and a hollow skull lying right where no one expected. Eagles have ascended high again, and eyes still scanning. From afar, they detect new movement racing fast among cactus bushes. Zebra-tailed lizard, running at 30 kilometers per hour speed, black-white stripes bobbing. Being pursued by collared lizard, specialist eating smaller kindred, chasing behind. Collared lizard, with large head and powerful jaw force, completely focused on prey ahead, not at all recognizing predator shadow marked on sand. Zebra-tailed lizard dives underground. Pursuer behind stops in open area. It halts observing but doesn't see prey anywhere. Above, eagle has locked target early, waiting for exact moment lizard stops in open ground to dive from most advantageous attack angle. Collared lizard hears wind whistle behind, but reacts slowly. Body too hot, after chase making legs lose half speed. 2 meters become unreachable distance. Eagle talons clamp tight around lizard body and lift it from sand surface. Amid open space, with no rock gaps or shelter, all escape chances vanish. Eagle carries prey flying to nest on large cactus tree, while zebra-tailed lizard silently stays under sand, surviving by being faster than what once hunted it. Eagle perches on cactus tree feeding its young. Lost small mouse but gained larger prey instead. Enough one meal for its offspring. Desert food chain continues operating. Seeds feed mouse, insects feed lizard, lizard feeds eagle. Then decomposing carcass returns nutrients to soil and plants. Horned lizard lies pressed on warm rock after eating enough ants. Bone armor layer protects body, while blood squirting ability helps drive away many predator species. In cool burrow, mouses moving, thanks to extremely efficient water concentrating kidney system, helping it live almost without needing to drink water amid arid desert. Rattlesnake still coiled. Slow metabolism helps it fast many days, waiting for temperature to drop, then begins night hunting with heat pit. Dusk touches Sonoran. Sunlight gradually shifts to orange-red, while desert rocks begin radiating heat, absorbed throughout the long day. Desert changes shifts. Horned lizard prepares to bury itself in sand. Eagle stops hunting. Scorpion leaves rock crevice, and mouse pokes whiskers out burrow entrance again. Now is safest time. Rattlesnake crawls from maze, continuously flicking tongue and scanning heat. Where once was daytime shelter, now becomes nighttime hunting ground. Sonoran Desert spans over 300,000 square kilometers. With extreme temperature range, creatures here must adapt to daytime heat or nighttime cold to survive. Each species carries unique survival strategy, but all adaptations have limits. No one is perfect, only the most suitable. Dawn over Africa, first light touches the river surface. Thin mist rises from the still water, covering the sandy bank like an ethereal veil. Along the riverbank, footprints in wet sand tell last night's story. Some came to drink and left. Some species disappeared, never to return. In the distance, a baboon troop approaches the riverbank, then stops on high ground, observing the water below, displaying vigilance mechanisms selected through evolutionary process. This river is both life source and boundary between life and death. For small creatures like the baboon troop, each approach is a survival decision. Baboons are among Africa's most intelligent and fierce primates. Gray-brown fur, elongated face, and good eyesight help maintain high vigilance. Their jaws are fearsome weapons. Canines can reach 8 centimeters long, bite force from 500 to 700 pounds per square inch, enough to tear enemy flesh in an instant. They live in troops from several dozen to over 100 individuals, with clear hierarchical social structure helping maintain order and reduce conflict within the group. Baboons are omnivores, consuming from plants to small animals. Flexible diet helps them adapt effectively to harsh conditions of prolonged dry season. Their notable feature is a sophisticated warning system. Different sounds correspond to each threat, from birds of prey above to predators in bushes. But with dangers underwater, warning signals become limited when forced to cross rivers. Survival pressure forces the troop to choose despite existing risks. The troop leader advances, observing the river surface. In the next few seconds, its choice will directly affect the entire troop's safety. Behind, the entire troop waits silently in tension. Mother baboons clutch their young tightly, as delaying too long can also increase attack risk. The water surface is still, flat, and suspiciously calm. In African river ecosystems, silence often conceals lurking potential dangers. A dark shadow over 4 meters long lies motionless beneath murky water. Only eyes and nose protrude, camouflaged effectively like drifting rotten logs. Nile crocodiles are top ambush predators, with morphology virtually unchanged for millions of years. Their pupils are extremely sensitive to movement. Third eyelid supports underwater observation, helping detect prey precisely within hunting range. Nile crocodile bite force exceeds 3,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush prey bones. Once jaws have closed, almost no force can make them open. As ambush predators, they can lie motionless for extended periods to conserve energy and only attack when opportunity reaches optimal level. The tactic is very simple, but extremely effective. Wait for prey to approach, attack in less than 1 second, and drag underwater to drown. Baboons are well aware of danger, while crocodiles are ready to ambush. The encounter between vigilance and silent strength begins right at this river bend. Finally, the troop leader decides to descend into water, each step cautious. The entire troop immediately follows, maintaining tight formation in this life or death choice. Adult males go first, water rising to their bellies. Behind, females hold young tightly, maintaining high vigilance against sudden attack risk. When the troop reaches midstream, water level rises to adult chests. Young cling tightly to mothers to avoid being swept away. Tension reaches peak. Suddenly, the water surface behind erupts. A crocodile charges with terrifying speed. The baboon troop panics, signals warnings. Formation immediately shatters. Individuals in front rush quickly toward opposite bank, while the rear group turns back. Dispersal breaks troop cohesion, making hunting risk increase. In nature, living in groups helps distribute risk. When separated, solitary individuals quickly become the clearest targets in dangerous environments. The crocodile locks target, not chasing the troop, but focusing on separated individual. This is common hunting tactic, prioritizing weak or slow-moving ones. Crocodile jaws close just centimeters from the baboon. Water splashes high. This individual escapes narrowly, rushing ashore at maximum speed thanks to survival reflexes. On both banks, baboons stand panting. The troop is divided by the deadly water. The first river crossing ends with luck, but not everyone made it to the other side. On the old bank, a mother baboon with young is trapped. She looks across to the other side, where most of the troop has safely gathered. Below the water surface, the crocodile has submerged, restoring initial calm. However, that silence is only concealing danger still lurking below. The mother baboon understands she cannot wait long. Lack of food and troop separation diminishes social standing. She must decide quickly to ensure survival chance. On the other side, the troop cannot wait, begins moving into areas with food. Distance gradually increases, forcing the mother baboon under pressure to act urgently. She descends into water. The young clings tightly to mother's back. Cold water gradually submerges the body. Each step is gambling with fate. Having advanced some distance, she steps slowly. The water surface ahead ripples lightly, then falls silent. Mother baboon is vigilant, eyes scanning along the current. From the right side, the crocodile suddenly lunges up without warning signs. At a speed impossible to react to, its jaws aim straight for the young on her back. Teeth sink deep into the young's leg. A piercing cry rings out. Mother baboon grabs her offspring, pulls back, creating a life and death tug-of-war in the water. On the bank, the baboon troop scatters. Warning cries ring out continuously, but no one dares enter the water, can only observe from safe distance. Mother baboon resists by instinct, continuously biting, clawing, and jerking. However, her bite force is significantly weaker than the crocodile's, making advantage tilt toward the predator. As the struggle drifts toward shore, the crocodile gradually loses advantage in shallow water. Seizing the rare opportunity, Mother baboon musters strength for one final jerk. The young escapes the crocodile's jaws, but in an instant, the crocodile switches targets and locks jaws onto Mother baboon's leg. The young runs ashore, trembling with leg wound. Another baboon pulls it into the troop's center. It survives, but the price paid doesn't belong to it. Underwater, Mother baboon still resists, but the pulling force increasingly tilts toward the predator. Bit by bit, she's drawn away from shallow water. On the bank, cries thin out, then cease completely. The baboon troop helplessly watches, unable to intervene. The outcome is decided and no second miracle occurs. On the water surface, the last ripples vanish. The water continues flowing, reflecting natural law that won't stop operating for losses. The baboon troop leaves the riverbank, quickly reestablishes formation, with the wounded young walking in the troop's center. Life continues despite carrying irreplaceable loss. The young is still too small. It doesn't fully understand what just happened, but survival instinct has deeply carved a life and death experience. In nature, victory sometimes is simply being alive. No heroes or villains, only existence continuing in life cycle. Below the river, the crocodile returns to familiar ambush position. It can fast for many weeks, but still patiently waits for prey. Persistence is its key survival weapon. Life by the water always exists in fragile balance, where action and waiting alternate, creating an endless cycle. In the distance, the baboon troop has found an area with food and gradually restores daily behaviors. But the formation is now missing one member. The young with leg wounds sits beside another female. It will grow up, will learn to survive, and someday will have to face this river once again. In the silence of the African plains, each species holds a role in nature's endless cycle. Life and death aren't opposites, but two parts of the same flow. Mid-morning on the African savanna, as the sun begins to pour down on the parched earth, life does not stop. It simply shifts to a different tempo. There is no shade for refuge, no place to hide completely. This is a land where every creature must expose itself to the sun and to one another. From a small burrow beneath a tree, a small head emerges. Dark, beady eyes scan the surroundings quickly. This is not curiosity, it is a survival habit repeated every day. The daytime savanna belongs to those who dare to venture out when the sun is harshest. And among them, there are encounters that neither side planned for. The Egyptian mongoose, a small carnivore widely known for a skill few others on the savanna can match, dealing with venomous snakes. measuring about 50 centimeters long and weighing any mammal of its size. The mongoose is equipped by evolution. Modified acetylcholine receptors make the cobra's neurotoxic venom act significantly slower on its body. But resistance to venom does not mean total immunity. A large enough dose or a bite in the right location can still be fatal. Not far away, a long, glossy object moves slowly through the grass. It makes no sound. Only a slight ripple on the blades of grass serves as evidence. The mongoose stops. Its nose points forward, the distinct scent of a large reptile, unmistakable for anything else on this savanna. To understand the gravity of the coming confrontation, one must look at the creature slithering toward the mongoose, one of the most dangerous and common venomous snakes of the Dark Continent. The Egyptian cobra, up to 2 meters long, capable of accurately spitting venom into an opponent's eyes from over 2 meters away. Each bite injects enough venom to take down a full-grown human. Beyond its toxicity, its main advantage is strike speed. A strike is completed in under a quarter of a second, exceeding the reflex time of many equivalent predators. However, as the opponent closes in, the strike's effectiveness decreases. Distance becomes the decisive variable governing the probability of success for both sides. The two detect each other at less than 3 meters. The mongoose lowers its body and bristles its neck fur, while the snake spreads its hood and coils its body into an S shape. Both are ready for war. This is a language both species understand without needing to learn. Every posture is a message. I am not retreating, and I am readier than you think. Both hold their positions, neither advances. This is not hesitation, it is calculation. In this battle, the one who strikes first is not necessarily the one with the advantage. The snake sways its head slowly, tracking every movement of the mongoose. This is a psychological tactic to distract the opponent, creating a moment of diverted attention to strike. The mongoose is not deceived. It moves forward half a step, then retreats. Forward, then back. Not out of fear, but to read the snake's reaction time. The snake lunges with a fast and precise strike, but misses. The mongoose evades in a split second. No one is hurt, but information has been gathered by both sides. The mongoose counterattacks immediately, without hesitation, lunging straight for the snake's neck, a strike taking less than a quarter of a second, which the mongoose has practiced since it was young. The snake breaks free and coils back instantly. Both return to their original positions. The tempo spikes. It is no longer a probe. The battle has truly begun. The snake lunges, using its strength to bite quickly toward the mongoose. The mongoose closes its eyes and turns its face back, evading perfectly. The thick facial fur acts as a second barrier. The venom clings to the surface. The snake used one of its most effective weapons and failed. The mongoose accelerates. No more stepping back and forth. This time, it is a continuous assault, forcing the snake to strike repeatedly. Every strike from the snake is an opening the mongoose is waiting for. The snake gradually loses the initiative, shifting to a coiled defensive posture. This stance limits attack angles, but simultaneously reduces its ability to control distance. The mongoose focuses on the back of the head, the area controlling the nervous system. A precise bite here can quickly neutralize all resistance. The snake thrashes violently, trying to escape the encirclement. Its long body sweeps across, pushing the mongoose away. The mongoose is tossed back, but does not fall. All four paws hit the ground instantly. This is the moment many other predators would stop, but not the mongoose. It returns with the same speed, maintaining pressure, demonstrating a resilient strategy selected by nature. The snake strikes one last time, more accurately than before. Fangs graze the mongoose's shoulder, but the thick fur and skin block part of it. The amount of venom injected is not enough to change the outcome. The moment the snake retracts its jaws after that bite is the final opening. The mongoose does not miss. Its jaws lock onto the back of the snake's head, the target it aimed for from the start. The snake coils around the mongoose, trying to use constricting force, but the mongoose does not let go. The bite force increases steadily. This is the decisive phase. The first to lose control will lose everything. The snake's movements slow down, not from exhaustion, but because neurological damage begins to spread from the bite site. The mongoose holds its position for nearly 40 more seconds. No rush. Waiting until movement completely stops. It is extremely cautious. When the snake is entirely motionless, the mongoose still bites down hard. Nothing changes. The battle ends in a way this species has repeated thousands of times before. The entire event took under 15 minutes, but every second reflects accumulated evolutionary data. No factor depended on mere luck. The mongoose drags the snake back to its burrow, a typical behavior for the species. No victory celebration, just a necessary meal after energy has been spent. In the ecosystem, the mongoose plays the role of a natural population control for venomous snakes. No other predator in this area performs that function. But the mongoose also faces increasing pressure, shrinking habitats, dwindling water sources, and competition with larger predators. The cobra faces similar trends. Declines in many areas are mainly due to environmental changes, exceeding the short-term adaptive capacity of both species. This raises a larger question. When one of the two disappears, how will the rest of the ecosystem adjust? There is no simple answer. Today's battle is a very small part of a much larger picture. Every species in this system depends on the existence of others. The mongoose carries the snake to its burrow. There is no reason to linger. The day is still long, and the savanna sun waits for no one. The savanna keeps no memory of what happens upon it. The wind erases traces. The sun dries what remains, and the cycle continues the way it has always operated. These two species have coexisted on this continent for millions of years, not because of peace, but because of balance. One side is dangerous enough to force the other to evolve faster. The mongoose will return to its burrow before dark. Another cobra will emerge when the temperature drops. This loop has no beginning and no end. Of all the lessons nature can teach, perhaps the simplest is also the most difficult to grasp. No species exists alone, not even the best predator. And as the first darkness touches the horizon, the savanna does not ask who won or lost today. It only prepares for what will happen tomorrow. As the darkness finally yields to the break of dawn, the African savanna wakes up in silence. A thin mist still lingers on the dry grass. Under the sparse acacia trees, the space remains quiet. There is nothing yet to suggest that today will be any different from thousands of days before. From the bushes, a pair of golden eyes opens. Though not yet moving, the body is already in a state of readiness, not because of danger, but because of instinct. This is a land where every species participates in a common game. No rules are written, but everyone understands their boundaries. The Cape porcupine, Hystrix africa australis, moves along a path it has memorized from many nights before. Each footstep is steady, without haste. A layer of quills covering from neck to tail reaches up to 30 centimeters long. They are not for attacking, but a defense system formed through tens of millions of years of evolution. This rodent is primarily nocturnal, living in pairs or small groups. They forage on the ground, digging for roots and tubers to maintain energy. Upon detecting a strange sound, the porcupine stops abruptly. The quills on its back rise in less than a second, a reflex that requires no thought. In the ecosystem, porcupines play a significant role. Their burrows become shelters for many other species when the dry season arrives. It emerges from the burrow, lifting its head. The air carries a strange scent. Something in the distance is shifting that only its nose can perceive. Not far away, under the acacia canopy, a young individual watches. Less than 2 years old, it is making its first independent hunting decision, marking the transition from dependence to self-reliance. The leopard moves step by step, hiding itself in the grassland. The savanna does not know that a script is about to unfold, and no one can predict the outcome. It should be noted that this young leopard is in the process of maturing. All its skills need to be honed through experience, sometimes at the cost of pain. The leopard, Africa's most versatile solitary predator, capable of climbing trees, swimming, and adapting to almost any environment. This leopard lacks enough experience to distinguish familiar prey from prey that carries potential risks. It looks at the porcupine and sees only an opportunity. Each porcupine quill is a hollow keratin fiber, sharp and featuring backward-facing barbs. Once embedded in soft tissue, they pull themselves deeper with every movement of the victim. The leopard has speed, strength, and claws. The porcupine has an armor that cannot be pierced by conventional approaches. This is a match where strategy is more important than strength. The porcupine continues to move, unaware of the approaching danger. But instinct begins to register signals. The pace slows. The head tilts slightly. When the distance is 20 meters, the porcupine recognizes the change in its environment. It bristles its quills and runs toward the grass thicket ahead. The distance closes to 10 meters. The grass is still. The wind stops. In that moment, the savanna seems to hold its breath, along with the two creatures facing each other. The leopard lunges. The porcupine's reflex is instantaneous. Its back turns toward the attacker, quills standing upright like a living fence. But the leopard is too close to stop. The leopard recoils. One or two quills have pierced its front paw. It looks down, licking the paw, an action not of calm, but of confusion. The porcupine does not flee. Instead, it continuously pivots to keep the quills pointed toward its opponent. This is the optimal strategy after millions of years of evolution. The leopard continues to approach from the front, exactly the direction the porcupine is defending most strongly. It hasn't realized that the quillless part is at the head, not the rear. The second time, the leopard lunges from a side angle. The porcupine pivots in time. A quill stabs into the leopard's cheek. A short hiss, not from the porcupine. The pain is much clearer than before. But during that pivot, the porcupine failed to maintain a perfect defensive heading. A part of its body without quills was exposed for a few seconds. Fortunately, the leopard was not focused enough to capitalize. Both sides stop. The leopard breathes heavily. The porcupine still turns slowly, patiently. Neither side wants to leave first, as the price to pay grows steadily larger. The leopard begins to circle. The porcupine follows every step closely. The turning circle tightens. This is no longer a simple hunt. It is a test of patience and technique. The leopard tries a third time, this time from above, attempting to use its weight to pin the porcupine to the ground. But quills do not distinguish the angle of attack. The result remains unchanged. In a fit of desperation, the leopard bites the porcupine's body. That was the final mistake of the day. Quills embed deeply into its gums and tongue, so much so that it cannot close its mouth immediately. With quills stuck in its mouth and at least 3 others in its paws, the leopard's ability to hunt in the coming days will be severely compromised. The porcupine does not linger. It turns away in its original direction, its footsteps steady as if nothing had happened. Its body is almost entirely intact. Porcupine quills do not inject venom. Their impact comes from physical shape. The backward barbs prevent easy removal, and infection is the greatest risk for the one stuck by them. The young leopard will carry those quills for many days. Some may migrate deeper on their own. With each passing day, the pain will teach it something no book could record. In nature, predators learn through failure just as much as through success. Every wound carries information that instinct cannot provide from the start. The porcupine's survival is not accidental. It is the result of long-term natural selection, optimizing a defense mechanism without needing to actively attack. After a few days, the leopard recovers and begins a new hunt. But every time it encounters a porcupine, it remembers that battle, making it reluctant to attack. In this world, no lesson is free. The remaining question, will today's lesson be enough to change future decisions? However, this species is facing a threat that no quill can defend against: the shrinking of habitat due to human expansion. The distribution range of the African porcupine has narrowed over several decades. They are forced to move through unfamiliar environments to find food and shelter. For the leopard, the threat is similar. Both species are adjusting their behavior in a world changing faster than evolution can keep up. What happened between the leopard and the porcupine is part of a continuous chain of lessons. Nature does not teach with words, it teaches through consequences. Both species will continue to exist in their own ways. One with perfect defensive armor, the other with a painful memory newly acquired. The savanna remains the same. Nothing changes in the big picture, but at an individual level, both leave with new knowledge learned from pain. There are no absolute winners or losers in encounters like these. There are only individuals who become better suited to the world they live in. The porcupine keeps moving. The leopard will try again with a different strategy and different prey. The savanna does not judge, it only records. After today will be another new day, each species continuing to play its irreplaceable role in a system larger than any individual. And as the light of the day's end gradually blankets the savanna, this land does not remember the names of any of them, but it keeps the traces of all. The dry season arrives. The Serengeti grassland falls silent in a different way, not empty, but the kind of silence before something great begins. Hundreds of thousands of zebras are moving southward. This is the greatest migration on Earth, and not one of them is allowed to stop. Among the herd, calves just a few weeks old move along. Their striped coats still soft, their legs still unsteady. They do not yet know they are on their way to their first test. Ahead lies the Mara River, the natural boundary that every animal in the herd must cross. There is no other path. There is no second option. The zebra is Africa's largest seasonal migrant, traveling thousands of kilometers each year in search of new, nutrient-rich grasslands. A foal must stand within 30 minutes of being born, not a miracle. It is the bare minimum required to survive in this ecosystem. It stays close to its mother with every step, a behavior known as shadowing. For the foal, its mother is not just protection, but direction, the entirety of its world. But it has never crossed a river, never faced rushing water, never felt the pull of an invisible current. What lies ahead is a completely new experience. The zebra herd halts at the riverbank. Thousands of individuals stand still. a rare moment in nature when the fastest running species hesitates before a body of water. The Mara River is not wide, but width is not the danger here. The danger lies beneath the surface of the murky red-brown water surging past. Below the surface, Nile crocodiles have been waiting since before the zebra herd arrived. They do not rely on speed, they rely on patience. A fully grown adult can weigh between 500 and 750 kilograms. Its bite force reaches up to 5,000 pounds per square inch, enough to drag an adult zebra underwater in just a few seconds. In the murky water, the Nile crocodile is nearly invisible. This is not merely hiding. It is a perfect attack design refined over hundreds of millions of years of evolution. The Mara River's current this season reaches 3 to 5 meters per second, enough to sweep away any foal that loses its footing, even without a predator present. The riverbed is covered in slippery rocks. One misplaced step is all it takes. The current and the rocky bottom are the first threats the foal must face before the crocodiles. The lead animal steps into the water. Thousands follow, not out of courage, but because the pressure of the herd leaves no other choice. The foal hesitates at the water's edge. The cold water touches its front hooves, a completely new sensation. No memory exists to make it feel familiar. The mother zebra turns her head back, the clearest signal of all, follow me. The foal steps in, not because it understands the danger, but because it cannot stay behind alone. The water rises to its belly. All 4 legs lose stability on the slippery rocks. The running reflex is triggered, but in water, speed no longer means anything. The foal begins to swim by reflex. Its muscles are not yet strong enough to fight the Mara River's current. Every second that passes, a portion of its energy is swept away. On this bank, hyenas are watching, and they are waiting. The smartest player in any hunt is not always the one who strikes first. The current pushes the foal 2 meters away from its mother. In ordinary circumstances, that distance means nothing. But here, 2 meters is the boundary between safety and danger. Beneath the surface, a crocodile, more than 4 meters long, begins to adjust its angle. No rush, no sound. It is calculating the approach angle and the right moment. The foal falls into a panic, the most dangerous mistake possible in water. Panic disrupts the swimming rhythm, drains energy, and pulls the body deeper beneath the surface. The mother senses it and turns back, breaking from the flow of the moving herd. Turning back means accepting a higher risk, going against the rules of survival. Underwater, a crocodile attacks the nearest adult, not the foal. It is a feint, creating chaos, to isolate the real target. A burst of water explodes. The zebra herd breaks formation, scattering in multiple directions. The foal loses its bearings. Its mother is no longer visible, only water and the sound of chaos. Instinct takes over. No more thinking. Only reflex remains. And in those few brief seconds, everything is decided. The crocodile disappears back into the current after its strike. Not visible does not mean safe. In the Mara River, the most dangerous things are usually the ones that cannot be seen. Finally, the foal reaches a narrow strip of land in the middle of the river. It climbs up, gasping, all four legs trembling, but it is still standing. The mother has already reached the far bank. She calls out, the distinctive recognition call of the zebra. Amid the chaos, that is the only signal the foal needs. The second time it steps into the water, the foal no longer hesitates. Its mother's call has overridden the fear, an evolutionary mechanism that prioritizes connection over panic. The second half of the river holds no crocodiles. They have concentrated around the main herd. The foal does not know this. It swims in fear, and that very fear drives it to move faster. The far bank comes into view. It climbs up using every last bit of energy. No technique, no control, only the survival instinct. The mother stands still and waits. She does not move closer. In the language of zebras, standing still is an affirmation. I am here. You must come to me. The foal trembles, coat soaked through, breathing rapid. But it is standing beside its mother, on ground that just minutes before seemed completely out of reach. Not far away, another foal is not so fortunate. Separated from the herd early, it loses its bearings, swept downstream by the current. Its mother cannot find it again. Nature does not distinguish between right and wrong. Only different positions and different moments produce different outcomes. 1 meter in the wrong place is enough to change everything. The crocodile pulls its prey to the bottom, a behavior known as the death roll. No drama, no drawn-out struggle, only a mechanism, executed exactly as it was designed. The rest of the zebra herd continues up the bank, no stopping, no looking back. In herd survival, stopping means increasing the risk for all. The foal stands on this bank and looks back at the river. Its brain cannot process memories the way a human's does, but its body will remember in the way that biology remembers. Instinct is not rewritten by thought, but by experience. Today's fear becomes tomorrow's reflex. That is how nature evolves every living creature. The foal will cross the Mara River many more times in its life. Each time, it steps in faster, more precisely. Survival is a skill learned through fear. In nature, there is no such thing as a safe childhood. To be born is to begin a series of trials. Instinct is not perfect. It must be sharpened through risk and fear. Across the Serengeti grassland, that cycle will continue, season after season, generation after generation, and the Mara River will remain, waiting for Antais, each new foal, to step into the first test of its life. End of dry season on African savanna. Ground cracked long like old wounds. Grass withered crisp underfoot, while air thickened silence. Each species here has a role, and that role isn't fixed. Today's predator can become tomorrow's prey, if it makes one wrong choice. In this harsh environment, no action is meaningless. And sometimes, a successful hunt is precisely the starting point for an unavoidable failure. Africa doesn't favor the strongest, but chooses those who adapt more effectively. And today, the law will be demonstrated through a small species. Honey badger, small, fierce mammal famous for courage, recognized by Guinness as most fearless animal, ready to confront opponents many times larger. Honey badger skin thick and very tough, enough to reduce effectiveness of strong bites. Loose skin also helps it twist to counterattack right when restrained. Honey badger's front claws long, curved and extremely strong, suitable for digging burrows, breaking beehives or foraging underground, and when needed, it tears through anything blocking path. Mongooses significantly smaller than honey badger, but they rarely act alone. This species' true strength lies in ability to coordinate in packs. In a mongoose pack, usually at least one individual performs sentry duty. It observes from high position and signals when danger approaches. Despite having certain resistance to snake venom, their greatest advantage lies in behavior. Group coordination with astonishing speed and precision. This morning, entire pack moving toward nearest water source, a familiar route repeated daily and already silently tracked by honey badger. Honey badger doesn't lack food, but this opportunity rarely appears. When pack begins dispersing to forage, young individuals remain, creating dangerous gap. In nature, distance sometimes determines survival, not just between two bodies, but between an individual and pack's protection, and honey badger knows this. Balance in nature rarely collapses through chaos. It usually starts from very small deviation, then spreads faster than any reflex. Honey badger charges straight at target, no circling or probing. That's the hunting method of animal relying on endurance, boldness, and closing speed. Small mongoose pack reacts almost immediately, but still slower than decisive moment. Warning call rings out, but pack still outside support range. Honey badger bites and holds prey's neck or nape, an effective restraint method helping it quickly end attack before opponent can escape. Honey badger doesn't leave immediately, but begins eating on spot. A common choice for confident predators when not sensing clear threat. Not far away, mongoose pack has heard alarm signal. They stop almost simultaneously, then quickly turn toward direction emitting sound. This isn't random reaction, but social behavior reinforced through natural selection. When one individual signals, entire pack immediately coordinates. Honey badger quickly recognizes pack approaching, but it doesn't retreat. Instead, it turns to face, raises fur, and grips food tightly. Mongoose pack approaches at safe distance, not rushing in immediately. They observe, maintain formation, and assess opponent before choosing intervention moment. When honey badger turns back to prey position, Two mongooses from behind have closed in. They attack tail and flanks, areas honey badger cannot defend. This is attrition attack type. No single individual strong enough to bring down honey badger alone, but entire pack can force it to continuously expend energy. Honey badger counterattacks fiercely and strong enough to bring down several individuals in short time. But mongoose pack doesn't retreat, nor let formation fall into chaos. This is when numerical advantage begins showing effectiveness. Each eliminated individual almost immediately replaced, while honey badger must bear all pressure alone. Honey badger turns back to prey and continues eating. This is biggest mistake it will make today. While head bowed down, three mongooses attack simultaneously from three directions. Situation changes, not from single strike, but because honey badger, for first time, loses control of fighting space around its own body. Honey badger still hasn't left prey, partly from resource-keeping instinct, partly because it never had to abandon anything before. Today is first time. Mongoose pack doesn't rush in chaotically. They attack in short waves, then withdraw, maintaining pressure without depleting own energy. Through each collision, honey badger's reaction speed begins decreasing very slightly. What naked eye hardly notices is clear enough for entire pack to adjust closing distance. Honey badger begins moving to find more favorable opening, trying to regain initiative. But each gap just appearing is quickly filled by entire pack. Confrontation now no longer revolves around prey carcass. Entire mongoose pack has shifted target from protective reaction to applying pressure until honey badger exhausts. Mongoose pack not panicking, they continue following exact rhythm maintained from battle start. Patience is final and most effective weapon in this species' arsenal. Honey badger still bites several more individuals, but force and accuracy markedly decrease. Wounded ones retreat, while remainder continue applying pressure. This is battle about time, not strength. And in this battle, numbers always beat single individual, however exceptional that individual. Honey badger lowers body longer than normal beat. A declining sign mongoose pack immediately recognizes and exploits without delay. They don't need clear finishing blow. Just maintain pressure long enough, remainder decided by opponent's physiological limits. When honey badger falls again, it still manages to rise. But posture has lost stability, showing body beginning to decline movement controllability. Mongoose pack gives honey badger no rest. Each time it struggles up, entire pack immediately tightens pressure before opponent regains balance. Honey badger still bites back, still growls, and still won't retreat. But now, body can no longer keep up with its fighting will. This isn't simply failure of stubborn individual, but proof of survival law. Collective endurance can wear down even exceptional opponent. After ensuring threat has ended, mongoose pack quickly disperses and continues moving toward water source as original route. Honey badger lies motionless long while before beginning to move again. It's not dead, but clearly exhausted and completely lost situation control. Prey carcass still remains in place, but honey badger doesn't return, remaining energy not enough to exchange for what already cost it too much. Nature doesn't judge. No good or bad guys in this story, only choices and consequences. Honey badger chose to attack pack and failed. But story doesn't stop there. One more severely wounded mongoose individual falling behind, and mourning order seems beginning to reverse. Honey badger recognizes opportunity, stops observing. Though body still hurts and exhausted, hunting instinct hasn't disappeared, only temporarily suppressed. And in those few seconds, honey badger looks at pack, then looks at wounded mongoose. First time today, it steps back without anyone attacking it. Honey badger turns away slowly, not fleeing but also not continuing pursuit. First time that morning, it actively refuses an opportunity. In nature, individual strength always has limits, while collective strength can far exceed individual capabilities when organized effectively. Tomorrow, honey badger will continue hunting while mongoose pack still goes toward water source. Nature continues, not remembering and not judging. But what remains after this morning isn't moment honey badger fell, but when entire pack turned back just from brief signal from wounded individual. Nature answers the question, what's stronger, individual or collective strength? It only presents real situations with unpredictable outcomes. Dawn over the Grumeti River, early daylight paints the murky water surface golden. Thin mist rises, landscape quiet, even a small movement becomes obvious. On the sandbar, overnight traces tell what happened. Footprints going into water, then returning, but also streaks going only one way. The river is the only water source in dry season, but also the boundary between life and death. This morning's flat surface guarantees nothing about what's below. On the other side of burnt grassland, hundreds of wildebeest advance toward the riverbank. Red dust rolling with footsteps, low calls echoing far, thirst forcing them to approach despite risks. They're Africa's largest migratory species. With millions of individuals moving seasonally, the river becomes the most dangerous challenge on the journey. Bodies adapted to grasslands, long legs for running, curved horns for goring, but underwater they lose advantage and become vulnerable. In dry season, the herd must drink water daily, no other choice. Thirst draws them to the riverbank, though always knowing danger hides below. The herd stops about 10 meters from shore, intently observing the water surface. No one dares step forward first, because instinct warns pioneers rarely return. Thirst overwhelms fear. A large male steps down first, water rising from hooves to knees. It lowers, head drinking hurriedly. Each second head down is a second losing vigilance. Seeing the male safe, the entire herd moves closer. Vigilance quickly decreases as thirst overwhelms, creating the most dangerous moment. Less than 4 meters from shore, 2 pairs of eyes have been waiting. Motionless, patient, they track each step, waiting for prey to enter inescapable distance. Prey in range, the male lowers head to drink, muzzle touches water. Less than 2 meters from crocodile jaws, countdown begins before the attack. To understand the danger right before eyes, one must look at the creature hiding at the bottom since before dawn. Species virtually unchanged for 200 million years because the design was perfect from the start. Nile crocodile, reaching 5 meters long, weighing over 700 kilograms. Bite force, exceeding 3,700 pounds per square inch. Strongest among all animals living on Earth today. Its tactic is lying motionless, lowering heart rate, conserving energy, waiting for prey to approach on its own, then lunging extremely fast, locking jaws and dragging underwater. After locking jaws, crocodiles perform the death roll, spinning body to tear prey. If not dead yet, it drags deep down, letting water complete the rest. This morning, the male wildebeest lowering head is only 2 meters from crocodile jaws. Sensory organs help it receive vibrations, determining prey position without needing to see yet. Only 1 meter remains. Crocodile tightens tail, parts jaws, while wildebeest lowers for one more final gulp, completely unaware that's the last peaceful moment. Water surface explodes. Crocodile lunges up, clamping tight on prey's head. Tremendous bite force locks rigid, heavy body, jerking wildebeest down into the water. Herd panics, running upshore, dust billowing thick. Only the trapped male held head underwater, 4 legs thrashing hopelessly, cries choked between mud and waves. Crocodile begins death roll, body coiling underwater, but wildebeest still resists, hind legs gripping bottom, trying to hold against violent spinning force. The spin isn't strong enough to bring down large prey. Crocodile changes tactics, stops spinning, and drags wildebeest toward deep water, where legs can't touch bottom and all advantages vanish. Wildebeest resists fiercely, hind legs kicking bottom, maintaining position. Head gripped, but body still above water surface. Each second still breathing is each second nurturing hope of life. Adrenaline surges. Wildebeest jerks hard, pulling crocodile towards shallow water. Nearly escaping at times, head surfaces, eyes wide open, gasping breaths echoing amid the water. But crocodile won't release. Jaws locked tight, begins pulling back. Wildebeest slips footing, loses grip point, gradually dragged back to deep area. The tug of war tilts toward water. Water rises to neck, then to head. Everything ends when legs no longer touch bottom. Wildebeest dragged under, river surface quickly returns to flat calm. On shore, wildebeest herd stands silently watching the river surface. No calls, only eyes fixed on where their kind just disappeared. Heavy atmosphere enveloped. Underwater, crocodile drags carcass to deep area, securing to tree roots. It doesn't eat immediately, but lets prey soak for days to soften. then tears gradually. The river just took a life, but the entire herd's thirst remains unchanged. And the Grumeti River is the only water source within 20 kilometers radius. 2 hours later, the herd returns to riverbank, steps slower, keeping distance farther. No one dares lower head drinking too long, though thirst still urges. They take turns drinking water. A few lower down, the rest vigilantly observe. Each small ripple also makes the whole group flinch back warily. Below water surface, another crocodile has positioned, smaller and lying close to shore. Blood scent from the previous attack still spreading, silently attracting more predators. Water surface explodes again. Crocodile lunges up close to shore. Jaws snap down, nearly hitting wildebeest's leg, but misses, making entire herd rush up shore in chaos. No one caught, but the attack shows the river isn't safe at any distance. Crocodiles control even the water's edge, where the safety boundary is thinner than wildebeest thought. Herd stops 50 meters from river, breathing heavily, eyes glued to water surface. Thirst unresolved, midday sun rising high, making dehydration increase rapidly. Another half hour passes. Thirst again defeats fear. Herd advances toward river, choosing new position 100 meters further upstream, where bank is gentler and water shallower. They don't know crocodiles also move. Beneath murky surface, they silently drift, following herd upstream, like invisible shadows. Herd begins drinking. Only a few go down to water's edge. The rest stand guard. A female steps deeper, seeking clearer water, inadvertently advancing exactly into crocodile ambush position. The largest crocodile lunges up, jaws locked tight on female wildebeest's neck. Fatal position near blood vessels. Bite force piercing through skin and flesh, holding prey unable to escape. Tug of war begins. Female wildebeest's legs still touch bottom. It kicks hard, trying to pull crocodile back towards the shore. Because only losing footing, all advantages will vanish. Battle lasts in over 4 minutes, rare with crocodiles. Female wildebeest still resists, continuously kicking, pulling, and keeping head above water to breathe. Second crocodile suddenly appears from behind, biting the rear. Two pulling forces in opposite directions make prey torn between heavy bodies. Wildebeest still resists, but third crocodile charges in, biting near head. 3 directions pulling simultaneously make it lose footing and drag completely off river bottom. Female wildebeest dragged under. Water surface churns then settles, foam spreading long with current, closing the battle as river swallows another life. Blood scent spreading in water attracts more crocodiles. 5, 6, then 7 heads emerge, converging on one point. Wildebeest carcass becomes collective feast, uninvited. On shore, wildebeest herd stands silently watching the reddened river surface. No signal needed, they understand. Then turn backs, leaving, abandoning this water point to find elsewhere. Grumeti River always flows, crocodiles present everywhere, no safe place, only places not yet attacked, and herds still must drink before dark. That's the law. To live must drink, to drink must come to river. Each approach is accepting risk, trading between thirst and life. Evening descends. Water surface returns to calm. Midday traces swept away. Vultures circle but don't descend, because the river has kept everything. Underwater, well-fed crocodiles lie scattered, heart rate slows. They can fast long, but still wait, following millions of years of survival instinct. Upstream, herd finds shallow section to drink. They only lower quickly for seconds, then retreat. Drinking style carrying survival nature. No more peace. Each attack deepens instinct. Next generation will fear water more, drink faster, keep distance farther, increasing survival chances through passed down memory. And crocodiles also evolve. Next generation more patient, lying closer to shore, waiting longer, because prey increasingly vigilant, and only the most patient can hunt. Dusk covers Grumeti. Water shifts from blue to deep red, this time from skylight. But that beauty conceals danger as light gradually weakens. Wildebeest herd retreats deep into grassland, resting at night, sleeping standing vigilantly. Tomorrow morning, when thirst returns, they'll hesitate before the river again and step down again. In nature, life always comes with trade-offs. Wildebeest need water, crocodiles need prey, and the river connects these two needs in daily survival loop. Night blankets, Grumeti. Frog calls echo along shore. Hippos call amid stream. Water surface shifts to another world where new dangers continue unfolding. On river bottom, crocodiles lie motionless, conserving energy. Though resting, sensory organs still operate, ready to react to any vibration. Night wind blows along Grumeti. Water surface ripples lightly under moon. Blood traces washed clean, sandbar flat and calm. By morning, no traces remain of what occurred. Moon rises high, river still flows as for millions of years. Water surface flat, calm, beautiful, and inviting. But the question each prey must answer each morning remains unchanged. Drink or not drink, live or not live. From above, the East African savanna appears as an endless golden canvas, where the shadow of large wings glides silently in parallel with a dark streak moving close to the ground. Beneath an acacia tree, a pride of lions rests after a meal. Bloodstains still ring their mouths, completely unaware of the brown eagle circling overhead and gradually lowering its arc. Under the low grass nearby, a black mamba nearly 3 meters long slides across a trail, carrying in its fangs enough venom to kill 10 grown adults. The eagle suddenly folds its wings and dives, talons driving straight into the mamba's midsection. Wind screams through the feathers as the large shadow rapidly covers the grass below. Talons pin the target to the red dust. The mamba immediately coils in resistance, whipping its head around at extreme speed, its venom-loaded fangs ready to strike. The mamba tightens around the eagle's wing, locking it in place and leaving the eagle thrashing helplessly as the venomous fangs continue searching for an angle on the neck. The eagle pecks repeatedly into the snake's body, but each strike only causes the mamba to tighten further. Two bodies roll across the red earth, dust billowing in clouds, feathers and scales tangling together. The sound of the violent struggle causes the lion pride to raise their heads. Two females rise and move slowly forward, curiously watching the cloud of red dust rolling up along the trail. One lowers its muzzle toward the brawl. The mamba immediately releases the eagle's wing, rears its head high, spreads its hood wide, and lets out a loud hiss of warning. The lioness stops. It recognizes that what stands before it is not prey, but a venomous threat. The mamba slowly slides out of the red dust and disappears into the low grass. The eagle snaps upright, spreading wings that are now slightly misaligned. Both lions still stand nearby as it fans its neck feathers and opens its beak in warning after the life or death struggle. The two lions advance no further. The eagle quickly gathers itself and labors heavily off the ground, circling once before fading into the rising thermals above the savanna. Beneath the low grass, the mamba has vanished, leaving behind a patch of earth that even the top of the food chain chose to avoid. In the end, all three species walked away. No true winner, only creatures that understood survival sometimes matters more than continuing the fight. Far from the red patch of earth, a secretary bird, nearly 1.3 meters tall, strides across the blazing grassland, its scale-armored legs ready for snake hunts across the ground. For this bird, the legs are the weapon, thick scales resistant to venom and kicks of tremendous force, moving steadily through the dry grass in search of the next prey. Ahead, a cobra nearly 2 meters long slides across open ground. The secretary bird immediately halts, lowers its neck, and holds a safe distance. The cobra quickly rears up, spreads its hood wide, and opens its mouth in a threat display. But the secretary bird only steps slowly sideways, forcing the snake to rotate with it. The snake suddenly lunges forward, but the moment its body is fully extended, a strike like a thunderbolt drives straight into its midsection, slamming the cobra down onto the red earth. On the next attack, the secretary bird again leaps backward at the right moment and delivers a reverse kick into the oncoming head, sending the snake staggering. By the third exchange, the cobra is slower. A kick straight down to the top of the head sends the snake's body thrashing across the ground, unable to raise its neck again. The secretary bird delivers a few more decisive kicks, then picks up the cobra's body and walks on across the grassland, as though the hunt just completed was nothing more than a routine part of the afternoon. It will continue sweeping through the grass until dusk, using its long legs and patience to bring down one snake after another with precise strikes. The sun-scorched grassland belongs to those who hunt from above. But to the west, among red rocks and scorching thorn bushes, another snake hunter appears, one that works at ground level through pure speed. A semi-desert stretches with cracked red rock and scattered cactus, as a small shape darts through the gaps in the stones so fast that the dust has not yet risen before it is gone. That is the roadrunner, a bird that hunts with long legs, a tail like a rudder, and a ground speed exceeding 40 kilometers per hour rather than wings. Ahead, a desert snake slides across open ground. The roadrunner spots the prey and immediately changes course, driving straight toward it without slowing. The snake quickly coils into a defensive posture, but the roadrunner simply circles continuously, forcing the opponent to keep changing direction until the movements of head and body begin to fall out of sync. The snake's strike misses. The moment its head extends forward, the roadrunner has already looped behind it, driving its beak hard into the back of the neck and slamming the snake's body against the red rock. Keeping the prey gripped in its beak, the roadrunner repeatedly slams the snake's body against the rock until the entire body goes limp and stops responding. Right where the chase ends, the hunter begins eating its prey. Each portion of the snake's body disappears between strong jerks and steady swallowing. On this arid land, the window of survival is always brief. Just minutes ago, a living creature was finding its way to survive. Now it has become the energy source sustaining another life. Across the savanna and semi-desert, each bird hunts in its own way. One uses talons, one relies on the force of its kicks, and the roadrunner depends entirely on speed. Every snake hunt between savanna and semi-desert is a gamble, because just one successful bite from a black mamba or a cobra is enough to end the hunter permanently. The eagle survived that morning because the mamba's fangs glanced off the thick neck feathers. Had they pierced the skin, the venom would have brought it down from the sky within minutes. For the secretary bird, the leg scales are the final line between life and death, because if the cobra could reach the unprotected thigh, the outcome would be entirely different. The roadrunner is different. No armor, no grip strength, only raw speed. Every loop around the snake is a bet of its life for the sake of its young. The brown eagle perches on a dry branch, wings pressed to its body, waiting for the bruised muscles to recover after the struggle. Further out in the afternoon grassland, the secretary bird still paces slowly through the yellow grass, knowing snakes are most active as temperatures begin to fall. Across the semi-desert, the mother roadrunner continues driving through the scorching rock crevices to find food. And beneath the acacia tree, the lions still lie there. And every time the wind stirs the grass ahead, they immediately raise their heads and look toward the place where the mamba once disappeared. Tomorrow, the eagle will circle the sky again. The secretary bird will step through the yellow grass, and the roadrunner will continue racing through the red rock. But the snakes will continue to exist as well. The race between talon and venom has no finish line, only the next round. When the last ray of sunlight leaves the savanna, the mamba still slides silently through the wind-stirred grass, fast enough and venomous enough that no one wants to cross its path a second time. Under a scorching sun, a black and white shape moves low across the ground through dried, yellowed grass, heading straight for a wild dog burrow, from which faint whimpering sounds emerge. It stops at the burrow entrance. It draws in deeply the mingled scents of stored food, milk, and wet fur. Inside, several pairs of round eyes look out, not yet realizing the visitor is not their mother. The honey badger pushes its head into the burrow, bypassing the pups to follow the scent of food stored deeper below. But the sounds of panicked yelping have already carried far across the grassland. At that very moment, the wild dog pack returns from a hunt, muzzles still bloodied. The alpha immediately spots the black and white rear end protruding from the burrow entrance. Two dogs lunge forward. The honey badger thrashes hard, claws raking the ground for grip, but is still yanked backward into the middle of the encirclement. It immediately lowers its body, arches its back, and spins continuously to avoid exposing any weakness. Around it, the wild dog pack stands in a ring, hesitating before committing to an attack. The first dog lunges in for a bite. The badger spins instantly, its teeth sinking straight into the dog's snout. The second dog leaps onto its back, but its teeth slide off the loose, thick skin. For 2 full minutes, the pack takes turns pressing in from multiple directions, leaving bite marks on the badger's shoulder and thigh that slowly bleed through its fur. The honey badger understands it is losing ground. It abruptly reverses a direction and shoots back into the original burrow, then turns to face outward, using the narrow entrance as a natural shield to protect its body from attacks on multiple sides. One dog approaches the burrow entrance. The honey badger suddenly bursts out, clamping down hard on the dog's front leg, causing it to yelp and recoil, dragging both of them rolling away from the entrance. Pulled back into the open once more, the honey badger immediately absorbs a fresh wave of attacks with a barrage of bites. Within the encirclement, its counter-strikes begin to slow. 3 minutes of combat drag on under the blazing sun. Its bites grow shorter, its hind legs drag slightly, but the pack is also visibly tiring and bearing clear wounds. An opening appears when a few dogs slow down and one breaks away to drink water. The badger gathers its strength, punches through the formation, and disappears into the tall grass. The pack returns to check on the pups, while the honey badger stops behind a mound to lick its wounds. Its belly is still empty, and its eyes quickly lock onto movement on the granite face above. On a protruding rock outcrop sits the nest of an African black eagle, where white eggs and chicks rest precariously among tightly woven dry branches under the blazing midday sun. The honey badger begins to climb the sheer rock face, claws gripping each crack in the stone, body pressed flat against the scorching surface, inching up toward a height that seems unreachable. The mother eagle has gone hunting. The badger pulls itself over the nest's rim, quickly clamps an egg between its jaws, then carefully picks its way back down the burning rock face. A dark shape flashes past. The mother eagle returns, spots the egg in the honey badger's mouth, and dives straight down, talons driving into its back, forcing the jaws apart, sending the egg plummeting down the rock face. The badger holds its position. As the eagle continuously uses its wings, beak, and talons to pry its opponent from the rock, the honey badger attempts to bite back while clinging precariously to the face. A final kick sends the honey badger flying off the rock face, tumbling through thorny scrub, crashing into stone, and landing motionless. A few seconds later, a front paw twitches faintly. It forces itself up, staggers to a crevice at the base of the cliff. The maternal instinct to feed her young drives the mother eagle to leave the nest and hunt. The badger watches the silhouette of her wings fade into the distance, then immediately climbs the rock face again, following the exact same holds it memorized before. This time it bypasses the eggs, quickly seizes a chick, then slides back down the outcrop before the eagle can return. At the same moment, the pair of eagles returns to the nest and discovers the missing chick. They immediately cry out sharply, both taking to the air, circling in pursuit, and locking onto the moving target below. The instant it touches the ground, the honey badger bolts for its burrow, cutting across the cracked, dry savanna. In its jaws, the chick's faint cries are gradually carried away and swallowed by the wind behind. Two eagles dive from two directions, talons sweeping across its back and head. The wind from their wing beats flattening the grass on either side, while the honey badger ducks low and weaves through a narrow thorn thicket. The mother eagle circles back, talons driving into the honey badger's back and sending it rolling into the grass. Its thick skin absorbs the grip. It springs back up and keeps running, jaws still locked tight around the chick. It plunges into the burrow, vanishes along with the chick. The father eagle drops to the burrow entrance, eyes fixed on the darkness, while the mother circles overhead, crying out in sharp, spiraling cries. In just one morning, the pair of African black eagles loses both eggs and chick. The price for a single moment of leaving the nest that they will never repeat so carelessly again. Not far away, on a low acacia tree, a mother secretary bird stands motionless beside its nest, eyes trained downward on a low gray shape moving steadily toward the base of the tree. As the honey badger presses against the trunk, the secretary bird immediately drops to the ground in a cloud of red dust, unleashing a rapid succession of powerful kicks with its long legs to repel the intruder. The honey badger lowers its body and absorbs the blows on the thick skin around its neck and shoulders, then abruptly changes direction, moving to close in and pin the bird's legs the moment it lands. The secretary bird does not retreat. It continues to counterattack with precise kicks to the head and spine, speed that has been enough to kill snakes, yet not quite enough to end this confrontation. The distance begins to close. The honey badger swings low to the ground and then suddenly clamps down on the lower leg beneath the bird's protective scales. A hard pull throws the secretary bird off balance, wings thrashing red dust across the grass as its tall frame is brought crashing to the ground. The honey badger leaves the stumbling bird behind. It turns back to the tree trunk and begins to climb, claws biting into each rough section of dry bark. The honey badger pulls itself over the nest rim, each egg cracking beneath its sharp teeth. Yolk runs down its gray muzzle as the fading cries from below grow fainter and fainter. Farther north, at the entrance to the wild dog burrow, an adult regurgitates food for the pups, while the injured individual continues to stand guard. On the rock face, the pair of African black eagles takes turns protecting the remaining eggs and chick, forced to divide their watch shifts after the ordeal just endured. The scratch marks on the honey badger's back have begun to dry beneath a coat of red dust. It lies deep in the shade of the earthen mound, its breathing slowly steadying after a day-long chain of confrontations. The afternoon wind sweeps across the grassland. As the last light fades, the honey badger too slips quietly into the darkness of the savanna.